Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope everyone's doing fantastic today. My name's Josh Dubois. I'm the CEO and founder of JDStrategic. I wanted to put together this brief video of really my checklist of items that I think should check every box when you're looking for that ideal franchise opportunity. In my opinion, really the key in having success in franchising, or really anything for that matter, is managing clear expectations. Obviously, if you're investing into a franchise, you're putting up a significant amount of capital. Financially, lifestyle, your life's gonna change if you potentially make this decision. So my job at JDStrategic as a franchise consultant is to help educate you on the world of franchising and really guide you through a step-by-step process to help you see if franchising makes sense for you and your loved ones around you. So really over the last couple of years, I've put together this checklist of things that I really think is ideal to check every box when you're looking for that opportunity to match your strengths, your weaknesses, your goals. So let's get into it without further ado. Step one, is it a sexy business? I think when you first inquire about business ownership, you're looking for something that's fun, sexy, exciting. But growing up in the dry cleaning industry, really business ownership is about finding that good or value that's really needed in your community. I think especially with that first initial business venture, it doesn't necessarily need to be something you're 100% passionate about. I think the passion comes from being a business owner, having that control over your future, that sense of freedom, and really having that impact on other people. And I think as you do achieve all these different things, you can certainly look for all these different passion projects, but I think most importantly, have that sense of control, live life on your own terms, and then you can really do whatever you want with that. Especially in franchising, they're gonna equip you with the skills so that you can do whatever it is you wanna do. So step one, is it a sexy business? I don't think it needs to be a sexy business, which brings me into the next point. Is it a needs or a wants-based business? And this really ties into, is it a sexy business? I think you wanna find a business that's more needs-based rather than wants-based, if that makes sense. So what exactly do I mean by this? So something like dry cleaning, painting, flooring, that people just have a need for it when it happens, rather than something that's more like a luxury good. And really looking into the sustainability of a product, especially when you look at the economy. You know, it's really easy to have success in an economy that's always going up. You know, the last 10, 20 years, we've had a really fantastic economy, and now things are slowly starting to change a little bit. There's some fear in the market, and really what that just means is that look for a business that has that sustainability, has that long-term track record, because businesses, whether it's a low cycle, a down cycle, when you're in a franchise, you're going to have these extended resources that will allow you to make it through these down cycles. For example, the dry cleaning industry, a lot of the mom and pops weren't able to make it through COVID, but a lot of the franchise dry cleaners were able to come out 10x stronger because they're able to leverage these national relationships, resources, and technology of a franchise system rather than going into business for yourself. So I think when it comes down to this, is it a sexy business? Is it a wants-based business? How sustainable is the product? And then is it a repeat business? So you can have this needs-based business, but how often are your customers or clients coming back? Because when it comes down to business ownership and franchising, my goal for you is that you're building up this asset that eventually you can sell in the long run. So rather than hunting, always finding those new customers or clients, we want you building up a book, an asset of clients and clientele that you can continually grow and scale that business, that asset to that next level. The next point that I want to talk about, and is super important in the world of franchising, and it's almost a buzzword in the industry, systems. Systems is the magic word in franchising. When you're making this big investment into a franchise, you're paying this initial franchise fee. The goal is that you're getting not only brand recognition of an established, proven business, but you're getting the systems so that you can just take those systems in that playbook and enact that into your local community. This is really important, especially for someone looking at an emerging brand. You need to pay attention. Obviously, the founder is really important. You want to know their story, the business, the model. But with a newer business model, pay attention to the systems in that business. How easy can those systems be replicated into your current market? Especially as someone, maybe you're leaving corporate America, trying to make that transition to business ownership. Your goal in franchise is not to reinvent the wheel. You want a business that can be easily replicated so that you can take that into your market. And really think of it like this. In my high school experience, I managed a dry cleaning franchise. And that is because the systems were in place for someone with no knowledge of business ownership, without a college degree, to manage and scale a business. And that is directly due to the systems that were in place for myself to succeed as a business owner in that position. So I think that is really, really important for people as you're considering business ownership. The next point I want to talk to you guys about is barrier to entry. When you're looking at all these different business models, you want to look at how easily could someone else come in and replicate that business model? How how are they differentiated in that business, and what is the ease to enter into that business model? When you look at something, whatever model it may be, what are the resources, technology, employees, what is everything going into that business model? And could someone in a different town across the country, could they replicate that business with a different brand recognition? Or what is it about that specific business that is differentiated and really makes that business model unique? I think that is a really important point. Next, you want to evaluate the corporate leadership. I struggle to say corporate because in franchising, there's really no corporate. It really is a two-way relationship between a franchisor and the franchisee. But when you are potentially interested in becoming a franchise owner, the franchisor, that's your support system. When you're making this big investment into a franchise, part of that investment is that you're going to have the systems, the support to really help align you for success. So when you're looking at a business opportunity at a franchise, do you feel like you're being sold the information or they're telling you the information? Because these franchises are getting hundreds of leads every week. They're really looking for the most qualified people. So if you feel like you're being sold information throughout the process, that tends to be a major red flag in my opinion. You should just be told information, just continually getting educated on the information to see if it makes sense for you. So really evaluating the franchisor as you're going through that process. What are those steps going to look like if you do potentially make that investment? What will that support system look like? And really validating is the next point that I want to talk to you about. Talking to other franchise owners. One, are they making money? And two, are they happy? These are really big points that you'll get to throughout the discovery process with JD Strategic. You're going to get the opportunity to speak to other franchise owners and really see what does a day in the life look like, ROI, cash flow, employees, all these tougher questions. You're going to get to actually speak to other franchise owners that have made that same investment and have lived the day in the life. So we want you speaking to the other franchise owners and really seeing what that day in the life looks like and does it align with your goals for the future. The next point that I want to talk to you guys about on this checklist is technology. When you're investing into a franchise, they're building the infrastructure, the support, the resources for you to succeed. So when it comes down to technology, they should always be adapting, changing to the new times, especially nowadays. Technology is really changing at an exponential rate. So when you're evaluating that franchise, really looking at the technology, is that technology improving? And how, when you're making that monthly investment through royalties, are they improving that technology for you? Because one of the analogies that one of my mentors in the franchising industry makes is that the franchisor's responsibility is to build the car, the infrastructure, and the franchisee's responsibility is to take that car and drive that car. But if the franchisor is not constantly updating that car, the franchisee, as they're driving that car, things happen, your brakes mistakes happen, the air pressure messes up, your tires get flat, things happen. So the franchisor is responsible for constantly improving and updating these things so that the franchise can really focus on growing and scaling that business. The next point that I really want to talk to you guys about is lead generation. I think one of the big points when people are investing into a franchise is one, lead generation, two, employees, and three, what is that ROI cash flow going to look like? So when you are making this investment into a franchise, there is some assumption that they're going to help you out with lead generation. Where are your customers coming from? Where are your clients coming from? So I like to look for an ideal franchise opportunity that's giving you some support, whether it's through that marketing playbook or some tools, whether it's Google, SEO, targeted marketing, so that you can just turn this on and start to find those customers, those clients. So when you first get started as a franchise owner, you go through training, and then you start day one, you open the store, and it's like, now what? You want to break even. How quick are you going to break even? So I think it's important for a franchise to have a grand opening package so that when you first open your business in your local community, that brand should be helping you build awareness in your local community to help you kickstart that business so that you feel comfortable growing, managing, and scaling that business. So I like to see some sort of grand opening package for those potential franchisees as they're evaluating these different business ownership opportunities. And then one of my final points is unit economics. Obviously, you're making this big investment. You want to know the ROI, the cash flow, all these financial questions. And with JD Strategic, I'm going to guide you through a step-by-step process where part of my process is a unit economics call where you're going to get on a call with the franchise, the franchisor. You're going to see all the financials of the other franchise owners in the system and really create a unit economics of that potential business, of that potential franchise, and see, do these financials, do these economics align with my goals for the future? So definitely, it's gonna be a step-by-step process. You don't need to have every answer figured out. We're gonna have you speaking to other franchise owners. We're gonna have you talking, seeing the financials, and really see, does this make sense for your future? And finally, thank you everyone for tuning into this video. I hope you found some value. And really my overall point in this video is that the key in franchising is managing expectations. You're making this potentially lifestyle change, this big investment. Your life's definitely gonna change. So my goal with JD Strategic is to manage these expectations through my step-by-step process. And in the end, franchising, business ownership may not be the path for you. It's certainly not right for everyone, but it has done tremendous things for myself and my family. And my goal is to simply educate you so that you and your family can see, does franchising make sense for you and your loved ones? So I hope this checklist makes sense for you guys. If you have any other further questions, concerns, my link's in the bio. I post content every single day on franchising, which I hope you find valuable. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I hope I get the pleasure of working with you or someone you know.